All right.
I was told that there'd be something. All right.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start out. We're going to start at that time. So what we'll do is this, guys. Seeing that there are no requests. You'll take your MBB loop and you'll extend it out to the red line. Okay? So we'll go to the top, Jim. Yep, and then lift that up, take that to the red line. And then make sure that your rainbow strip, right, is disconnected from the carabiner. Take it off, we'll see it move round. And I really love starting the way I usually do. So when you're ready, pull on it one time just to make sure that everything is properly set. Safety first, always. Place it up over the head. Yep. All right, great. And then what we'll do is you'll lean into it and just very mindfully, you'll come down. Now watch me. If your knees are sensitive, take the mat and just fold it twice. And then you'll walk your knees so they're slightly out in front of the hips, and then you'll be up on your toes. Why up on your toes? Because look at me, you want your thighs to rotate internally. You want your calf muscles to rotate externally. And then what you'll do is you'll support yourself with your left hand, take your right arm out in front. Now watch me for a moment. Look how I'm up off my palm. That actually is really nice, and then the head hangs, and you pull the shoulder blades back, and you can kind of lift the front of the hip points up. So, Rich, walk your knees a little bit more forward, so they're in front of the hips just a little bit, and then assertively, with great command, rotate the top of the thighs internally, and then think about the calf muscles rotating externally. When you rotate, or imagine that you're rotating your calf muscles externally, the heels feel like they work away from each other, which is really nice because it creates a really nice, safe space into the ankle joints, the knee joints, and the hips. Exactly, you got it, Jim, beautiful. And then breathe into the front body here. So as you're taking a breath in, you can feel the fascia just really starting to stretch and become more invigorated. And then I'd like you to imagine this. So we all know when we sit on a hard chair, the sit bones press into the chair. When you inhale, pretend you're inhaling and it's as if you were blowing into a balloon, filling it up with air. But what you're doing is the balloon is in between your sit bones. So as your thighs rotate internally and your calf muscles rotate externally, you inhale, you fill up the balloon in between the two sit bones, and the sit bones spread laterally, just like your collarbones. You see, and then we just woke up not so long ago. We just kind of take measure, if you will, of our state of mind, our emotions, and what have you. And then slowly, when you're ready, retract one hand back, and then the other, and then come on up. So before we go into our twist, I'm just going to show you this sideways. You'll maintain the same thing, but what you'll do is pretend there's a spring coming out of the floor, and the spring was right on my belly button. So what I do is I inhale, I lengthen, and then there's another spring from the ceiling now pushing me down that way, exhaling. So just a few times, inhaling, exhaling, and think of it more as the front of the hip bones sort of lifting up, ascending and descending, if you were standing, okay? So the movement is slow, it's methodical. You feel what you feel. Your music is your breath. Your breath is your music. You can do both ways. If you're up on your toes, you'll work the calf muscles. If you're up on the top of the feet, you'll work the anterior tibialis, which is the opposing muscle group to the calf muscles. In other words, the ones on the side of the shin bone. 2 more times, and it's like, a lullaby to a baby. Your breath is the lullaby kinesthetically and kinematically to your body. It really is. All right, beautiful. And then when you're ready, release. So from here, retract your right knee slightly forward, so it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches out in front, and then kick that left leg back so you're up on the toes. And then what you'll do is, before you even lift that right hand up, notice all the points into the surface of the floor. And as soon as you lift that right hand up, you'll just observe the difference of what happened, and you'll extend it out. Now, don't jut your face too far forward. You don't want to hyperextend it to the neck. And then slowly, when you're ready, you're going to lean slightly forward, watching the knee, taking the arm back and the knee forward. So there's a bit of movement in the band, forward and backward motion, and that's because you're working into a closed chain kinematic exercise. That's exactly it. And guess what? As you're doing this, imagine you have a cup of warm tea on the back of the hips. The tea is not spilling. It's moving, but it's level, like a ship spilling water. You see? Beautiful. 2 more, and then you'll pause. Take both legs, take legs, hands down, and then we'll do the opposite side when you're ready. Retract the left, knee slightly forward, kick the right leg back. Remember, right before you lift your hand up off that floor, you're kind of just observing the difference of what happens in the body. And then inhale, and then exhale slowly, leaning slightly forward. So you're using that right hand to work into the compounded movements, if you will. Yes, and then slow it down a little bit. Why? You want to give your brain a chance to get a sense of how the nervous system works with respect to your mental volition. You see? You're actually taking the mental metrics and working them with the kinematic metrics. Beautiful. 2 or 3 more. Really nice. Great. And then slowly release, nice and easy. Beautiful. So, before we go, no, we'll do that now. So just, you're going to walk your knees slightly forward. You'll extend your right arm out, and again, it's like you're cupping a tennis ball. But you want to make sure, look at me, look at my shoulder here. You don't want it to cramp up, and you want to pull the shoulder blade back. That's really important. And then you want to kind of activate the muscles of the upper leg, so again, you're spreading the sit bones. And then you'll inhale, you'll take your left arm up into the air like this, and then you'll exhale, you'll take it through, and let the head just rest. So that's just a general, those are general guidelines to get into the pose, but now your job, your fiduciary duty is to start to create these subtle adjustments. And that's all done through fine-tuned, keen awareness. Keep your eyes soft and observe as I inhale, how does the body respond? What emotions are about? What mental model is operating at play? When you exhale, now listen carefully, for the next 2 or 3 breaths, if you inhale, pause for about 3 or 4 seconds before you exhale. And then once you exhale, pause for 3 or 4 seconds. So try this a couple of times in between your inhalation and exhalation, in between your exhalation and inhalation. And observe how your body responds to that. Beautiful. Looks really nice. And then inhale, exhale, pull that left arm out. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay? So nice and easy. You're going to get yourself set into position. You're going to pull that left shoulder blade back away from the ear, so you're not all caught up in the lymphatics. You know, you want to keep your body like the ancient Roman drainage systems. They were magnificently great. Your body's the same way. You want it to drain. So breathe. Hollow out from behind your cheekbones. Hollow out from behind your temples. So you attract a certain kind of energy that makes your work conducive to the triad of the body, mind, spirit. You see? And then try the kumbhaka again. The kumbhaka is the retention of breath either after an inhalation or an exhalation. Try it again, and sometimes there's a different experience experience one side of the body relative to the other. But you just have to play around with it. And you have to watch that you're not kinked into that left shoulder. So if I were to put a nice long rod across the outside of the extended arm, that rod would be the same angle as the torso. So in other words, the arm and the torso are lined up along the axis of the rod. You don't want that shoulder dipping down too deeply. That's a really important thing to get. And once you do get it, you'll learn how to make all of these fine-tuned adjustments. That looks really, really nice, Jill. And then slowly, when you're ready, inhale, and then exhale. Go ahead and pull it out nice and easy. Beautiful. And then slowly, we're going to sort of back up and just watch me for a moment. So before we work into the blocks, into what I like to call mudra, we're going to do this. Watch me first, because otherwise you'll get lost. You're going to turn around into Dandasana. You'll place your band, right, so it comes to the floor and at the glutes. And then what happens is you'll just lay down and you'll press your feet in to lift the hips up and then extend and the arms come out and just close the eyes. I press the back of my head into the floor gently as I pull the shoulder blades away from the ears. And this is a really nice sacroiliac release, is what it is. And it's nice to do it still this early because your fascia isn't too warmed up. So you can actually feel this pose very differently now than if we were to do it 40 minutes more into the class. So you want to know that when you're warming up, your fascia, it's cold. It's not as pliable. It's like silly putty, you know, when you take it out of the container and you can just crack it in half by pulling it, but rub it in between your palms and you couldn't crack it at all. It just keeps, you want the, you can slide in a little bit, Rich. Yeah, that looks really nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great. And then really nice symmetry. That looks nice. How's it feel to you a little better? Good. Yeah. And it's a nice hip opener. So close the eyes for another Susan. Amazing. That looks really, really nice. Debbie, same thing. Mary, you're natural. Everybody, really, really nice. About another 20 seconds. Good. Yep. Remember, from time to time, lift the head up to get extensioning and then set it back down. From time to time, pull the shoulder blades back away from the ears toward the hips, see? So, of your 24 vertebrae of the spine, the whole spine assembly, what you're really trying to do is let the band help encourage the hips to pull back relative to the resistance of the torso on the floor. And this will give you some spinal lengthening, thoracic lengthening, and it will also encourage each and every vertebrae, those 24 vertebrae, to want to work into their proper pitch. In other words, everyone has a certain pitch, an angle, relative to the next that create the four curves of the spine. And then when you're ready, beautiful. Watch when you come out of a pose, because this can take you deeply into a pose, and then when you come out, you overstretch and you can get soft tissue injuries. So you want to be really careful how you come on out. Nice. And then just, once the feet are up, lift the hips up and let the band fall out. Just kind of push it out from the hips. Beautiful. And then what we'll do is we'll turn around and we're going to place 2 blocks up in front. All right, pull your legs and do shots, whatever you guys need to do. Remember, it's your practice. Okay, guys.
Stay there on last.
All right, so look here. So I've got my 2 blocks. Now I'm going to place my band back over. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's all good. Relax. Catch up. All right, so this is what we want to do. First and foremost, you want to take the band so it seems like it's slightly beneath the crease of the hips. Then I'm going to start to walk forward. Another way to do it is just press it down like this. Now, if I can walk my knees slightly forward and lift myself up, I've got the right resistance. Then what I do is this. I place my 2 blocks so they're centered in the knee like that. Okay? So you guys do that. Place it so that the center of the block is lined up with the knee joint. Huh? Then what you're going to do is hold on to the blocks so that they don't move back. Okay, good. You're going to have to keep your blocks there, but unfold your mat. Yeah, there you go. Right. Now take the two blocks and slide them in. Slide them in so they're just about 1.5 inches, 2 inches apart. Then, while they're there, take your mat, fold it once and twice. Up over it. A little push goes a long way. See that? Now, what will happen is this. I place one knee, and I make sure it's on the center. I use my thumb, and I can see where the center of the block is at. Or I can, have a really good, see that? Now, when you're up like this, you should actually be able to put your fist down and even lift your hands up without falling. If not, you need to move the blocks more forward, okay? Now watch what I do. I put my hands on the front of the blocks, and then what I do is I start to lower myself. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. The most important thing is that the toes work toward the knees to keep my feet from slipping. Now notice the head is up off of the floor. Then I test my ground. Yeah, I can lift my hands up, and I very slowly work them back, and then somebody takes a rope from the ceiling and puts it around my belly button, and watch this. I round, because they're lifting the rope up. And then I just very gently pull the shoulders away from the ears, and the crown of the head hovers above the ground like a helicopter a foot above the ground. But just an inch, yeah. Or it could just slightly touch. But what you don't want is you don't want compression of the neck. We just did, in the last pose, we just got a lot of spinal lengthening. So the last thing you want to do is curtail it. So, yeah, welcome a little more forward, exactly. So Rich, that's really nice, beautiful. So now, really let the head hang. So keep this here, but just let this, yes, exactly like that, Rich. Exactly. You see, through postural habituation, we lock muscles short and even long. And really what we're trying to do relative to everyday movement is have what they call basal toning. We want to have neutral tones of the body. So we're neither too locked short nor too locked long. If that makes any sense. Beautiful. And then slowly release. Mindfully, slowly, come on up. Beautiful. Come up, off. Excellent. And release your mat. Beautiful. And then very slowly, let me do this with you so you can see. So from here, I'm ready for me to go down where facing down. So what will happen is this. You'll take your blocks on the medium setting out in front, like this. Then what you'll do is you'll see if you can actually take 1 foot forward like this. Now, make sure your block doesn't slip out, but just very gently see if you could now come on up. Beautiful. And then what will happen is you'll just see if you can watch your knee. You can put the blocks on high setting too. If your knee is in front and you come up, you'll be really careful. All right. Now, reset. Place the band slightly beneath the crease of the hips, and then start to walk forward. Not so much resistance that your feet can go slipping out from behind. Then, trust yourself. Can you come down to your knees without falling? So you're still leaning forward, but the band is holding you into place. Now, can you peek up at me? So from here, I've got my blocks. I extend one, but watch me first, and then the other. My legs are still bent. Then I look at my feet, and I make the corrections in the feet, and then watch this. I inhale, and then I exhale. I slowly straighten out without the feet slipping. Yes. Bill, take the left big toe in, just the toe, not the heel. So the outside edges of the feet are parallel. If anything, the ankles are a wee bit further out than the outside of the toes. And then listen carefully. The inside edge of your calf muscles, activate them like an elevator going up. Really voluntarily activate that part of your muscular system because it'll lift the ankles, which then will lift the arches. And once the inner ankles are higher than the outer ankles, and you feel really grounded in the 4 corners or 3 corners of feet, I'd like you to spread your toes open. Spread them open without collapsing into the arch. Now pull the shoulder blades back, even if the block has to come back with it. Pull them back away from the ears. And now if there were a nice baton, the baton that we use, if it were on the back side of your body, right, your spinal column would go into its thoracic extensioning. If you get into the thoracic extensioning, you will invariably take out the excess slack in the lordosis of the low back and the neck, which is really important. So as how energy flows to and from. So breathe with it, stay with it, find the sweet spot into the pose. Really nice. Good. And then slowly bend the knees, pull the blocks up on the high setting, start to walk them back nice and easy, and then slowly come on up. Really nice. Now back up enough, and then let the band drop. Come on. Let's take our blocks and put them back where they belong. That's right. Hydrate. Hydration is important. If you're not hydrating, your muscles are going to cramp up, and your body is not going to work in its most optimal, from its most optimal place. All right. So now we're going to take the slack out. Yep, pull in, or you can pull in left, whatever it is. Then go ahead and place it up over the head again. All right. And then just watch me for a moment. So what will happen here is this. Actually, hold that there. Everybody go ahead and take your baton. And the baton, mind you, the rubber tip is down. The black rubber tip is down so it doesn't slip. Then what will happen is this. We talk about the sit bones a lot. The band is just slightly hovering above the sit bones. What? And the left side you can push down just a little bit. I walk the left foot forward and I take the right leg back. And then what I really want to do is this. I want to see if I can track. So look at my feet. They're lined up and it comes back the same way. In other words, you don't want it out. And then what you'll do is keep in the alignment of the joints, you'll come up and down. Now the more you take that back leg behind you, the more you'll feel it into the hip flexor, into the quad, and into the psoas. And then watch me. If you feel pretty good here, you can keep this here on top, or you can keep this up. But the idea is 1, exhaling 2. So there's a real strong focus on the eccentric, and mostly the eccentric phase, but also the concentric. You're going slowly. Up and down, and this is the thing. Make sure your center of each kneecap is pretty much lined up over the space between the second and third toe. That's really important. Nice, Andy. Well done. Beautiful. Up and down, nice and easy. That's it, Susan. It looks really, really good. Stay with it. Beautiful. Excellent. And then slowly. Now, don't change your position. Don't change your position. Put the baton down. See now if you could spring up on the top of the foot, but do it mindfully. So the foot and back, you're on the bottom of the toes. See if now you can come to the top, but don't let the knee deviate from the midline. Why? Now you're getting a nice stretch, again, into that anterior tibialis. It's a different kind of stretch for the knee, so you're building up a demand. You're telling the body, look, I want to be able to do things like this. You got to help me out. And then the body and the muscles say, we could do that for you. Just give us some good clues as to how we should do it. And that's exactly what you're doing by maintaining proper form. And Susan, you see how you're breathing with your breath in and down? That's exactly what it's about. Beautiful. Efferent energy. Yeah, well that too. I mean, yeah, for every person, they will always feel it somewhere different. All right, good. Come on up, guys. Yeah, and let's do the other side. All right? And so watch me for a moment. So for those of you that want to get like a little bit more of active, so when you're in it, you could even use this. You could even do a couple of these before you actually go into the other side. Totally optional. Yeah, like you're crazy.
It's optional.
It's optional, that's all. There's always an end in mind, whatever it may be. Yeah, exactly. That's second, Bill. Jim, that's second. So come up on the toes.
Thank you. I got one.
That's okay. Oh, if you can't do it that way, then that's fine. Go back to it. I didn't know. Yeah, that's it. Good. Beautiful. Wait, that's all right. Look at that. Nice. And so what Andy's doing, she's doing something kind of interesting. She's alternating legs. She's doing the same thing, but she's alternating, which is great.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Yeah. See, you were just creative, which is a really great thing. So in other words, everybody is just going up and down a few times. You see, just get into the myofascial slings to open up.
Yeah, I took it as that.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
That's all right. I thought you were deliberately doing it, which is good exercise.
Right.
All right, now come up onto the top of the toes. You see? Flip. The foot. Yes, that's it. Now if my baton is pressing in between the space of the back of the shoulder blades, you're actually pressing backward into the baton. You're pressing backward. So I might come to some of you, and it's just, you're just very gently pushing the upper body back. But as soon as you do that, then you start feeling the knee, and you need to make sure it's conducive. It's conducive, right? You're not chasing away one healthy pattern to beget an unhealthy one. Beautiful. And release. Really nice. Really nice. Beautiful. All right. We're going to come back to this after the next pose. So go ahead and release this, and then just grab your hands. So put your baton back. That's nice, Barry. Really nice. Beautiful. So the first thing, we know there are 3 different modes of operation with the handles. So I grab just a hard molded part, and look at the physics of my body. They're healthy physics. Why? In case it wasn't done properly or whatever. But then also, I kind of see what kind of resistance this offers my body. And that feels pretty good. And I can even switch sides. Go ahead and do that one time, and then I'll show you the pose. You want it one time? Exactly, Andy. Exactly. And then this is what we're going to do. So, and I'm going to show you sideways so you can see this way as well. So I back up. Now your nose and your belly button should be lined up with the anchor the handles are connected to. That's really important. And the same is true for me. It's still lined up, both of them. Then what I do is I back up enough that I can pull my shoulder blades back and have a slight bend in my elbows. And then that feels pretty good. So now I need to check out the rest of the body. And I come up and down. And I know this is supporting me and I feel pretty good, so I trust it. Then what I do is I lift my right leg up and I have to balance and I cross the right ankle over the outside edge of the left femur bone, and then I do this again. Where is my end range of motion at? Okay? So I know if I can safely come up and down like this, then, like when you take a pencil or a pen on a piece of paper and you make circles, and you start out with a dot, and every circle overlaps the prior line, and that's what you're doing. 1, 2, 3 circles, and then you decrease. You step back into your tracks and go backwards in the same linear fashion. Yes, that's it. Pull the shoulder blades back. That's it. And then Jim, let your sit bones work down and back, down and back. See Rich next to you? He's glad to let his sit bones drop down. Yes, that's exactly it. Breathing. That looks nice, Debbie. Do not overgrip. If you overgrip with your hands, it is not conducive to the health of the joint of the wrists and the arms. Beautiful. That's exactly it. And then when you're ready, reverse the circles if you haven't already. Reverse them. So you go in the opposite, clockwise, counterclockwise, right? Because there's a lot of neurological conditioning that takes place when you do this. And then slowly come on up. And then watch me. So from here, because it was the right leg that we brought up, I work back a little bit more, and then I lift my right leg up, and then what I do is I point the toes, and maybe I can take my right foot and wrap it around. but I don't have to. I could also put it on the floor like this for stability. And then all I'll do is I'll drop down. I'll extend the arms forward, and all I do is let go of the handles, and then I take the arms and cross them over and go into my full eagle. But it's really nice because it's the prep, it's the foundation. It allows you to work in a closed chain into the pose and then release and boom. You've got to pose before you even work. Nice, good, beautiful. Stay with it, focus on your balance. If a wind were to come in, you might move a little bit, but it's not going to throw you over. Yes, and then cross those arms over. That's it, Jim, that looks great. Nice, and you pull that right hip back down. And release. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, one more thing for this leg before we do the other side. And what it is this. You are going to now, so look at me. This is on green coated bungee cord. You will take the handle off, and then you'll put it on the white coated static rope, both handles. Both handles. You'll see why we need to do this. Now we're going to go back to the green when we're done with this exercise. So we made the change, now we verify. So very simply, kick foot forward again, pull on both handles, make sure you're hooked up properly. All right. Yep, that sound of that pulley is a beautiful thing. So now watch this. Now there's no bungee cord. What I want to do, that same right leg that we were just working, I want to sort of come down as if I were sitting into a chair like this. And my knees are slightly behind my ankles. That's really important. Then what happens is I come up and I take my right leg, and look here, I take it out and out to side. Then what I do is I'm sliding the foot. So forget about everything else, just look at my right leg and my right foot. Forget everything else, look what it does. It goes out on a 45, 30 degree angle. But my knee, look at me, my knee in front, it's always behind the ankle. You know, you don't want this. Not healthy. Let's try. Let's try. Come on back. Sit into your chair. Sit into your chair. Sit into your chair. Walk your feet forward if you have to. You should be able to sit into your chair. And you should have your chest more upright. Then, go ahead and work into it. Nice, Andy. You're pretty deep. You're at the precipice here, so just watch that the foot doesn't slip. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And you're making sure that doesn't slip. If it does, the foot's probably too far forward, or you're working too hard. So, and then see these ripples? Let them always be an indication that you're probably using a little too much force. So always use your mat so that if there's ripples, back off a little bit. That's a little sign to back off. All right, beautiful. And release. It's a little bit of an IT. It feels really interesting. And plus, you get the extension of the IT and you get the contraction of the sartorius. Just nice. So now switching back to the green. Next. And then again, vertical. Okay? Beautiful. Then when you're ready, now just as a refresher, okay, I back up. I do the same thing, I check out my range of motion, and then I make sure this can hold me, I lift the left leg up. Sometimes you have to hop back a little bit. Sometimes you think you have optimal distance from the wall, and then when you're ready, right, do your up and down a couple times, and then go into your circles. Clockwise and then counterclockwise. So you want to keep that left foot flexed. Yes. So the toes, the left toes pull back towards the left knee. They don't pull away from it. Yes. And then there's a slight weight on the top of your left thigh closer to the knee. And it works the knee down more toward. That's okay, good, that's what you're learning. It's beautiful. And then switch your circles. Switch your circles, counterclockwise. And you see, because there's so much conditioning of the nervous system, if you look at your hands, both of them, as you're working through the movement, you don't want one hand pulling the handles more than the other. You're actually trying to work through the circuitry of the brain and the body to bring them together to create very, very predictable movement patterns. Yes. And release. Move the hands around, bring the blood and the oxygen back. See, really important. You remember the second pose? Eagle is right. Eagle is right. So I'm a big advocate of saying, okay, do you remember what's next? Sometimes it's because I may not remember, but usually not. Truth be told. But usually it's because you really want to engage the mind. You want the mind to be crisp and right up to snuff on par with what's going on with the body, because they work together. So keeping the mind thinking about things, keep it sharp. Yes, beautiful. And then open up your heart, guys. Open it up. Breathe. Feel the earth beneath you, the heavens above. Let the winds flow through you from every direction. Close the eyes. And become what you're doing. Become it. Don't just do it. Become it. Beautiful. Beautiful. And release. Really nice. Great. Grab your baton. I understand. Grab your baton. I know. You don't think we're going to do it exactly the same way. Okay. So what's going to happen is this. You're going to have your right foot forward. So your baton's going to be in your left hand. And the rubber tip is down, okay? So what's going to happen is this. I am going to take my left foot, because that's the one we just worked, out to the left. And then what happens is this. You see? Just watch your knee. And then very gently, you can lower, but you've got to really, you'll be really careful when you do this one, Jim. And then you can even take your other arm out like that. And then watch how I come out. Just watch me. When I come out, I pivot on the foot. As long as you pivot carefully, you won't put torsioning into the knee joint. I think it's much more safer to come out that way than it is to just come straight up. But you've got to have that leg super duper active. Yeah, and it's more fun. Thank you. Thank you. And it's more fun. Nice, Gabby. That was great. Exactly. And then slowly come out. All right. More spinal extensioning. Put your baton back. Only to grab it again. Put it back. And then let's go ahead and put our rainbow stretch strip connected back onto your PNF loop so that it's not in the stretchy mode. Step. Okay, good. And then pull on it one time, just check it out. It only takes a few seconds. Place it up over the head. Grab your baton. Now, this is not quite downward facing dog, but what it is it's an angled Tadasana. Okay? Then what's going to happen, I've got my baton, now I want the rubber tip to point up. We have your rubber tip point up. Now watch what I do. I walk forward, just like a gopher. You want to get the right pattern into the feet. Then I come down. My elbows are on my knee. I feel pretty good. Look at my feet again. They look pretty darn stable. And then what I do is I take this, and the rubber tip comes right at the tailbone. And I don't let it come up. I keep it pasted. And then the midsection, and then the neck. That's it, the back of the head ending. And then what you'll do is you'll slowly just straighten the legs out. But don't let this happen, look. Or this. You see, you're only going so far that all 3 points are constantly connected and in contact to the back of the baton. This will really work wonders for oneself therapeutically. Breathe into it, exactly. So that's why less is more. Now, peek down, don't move your head, but your eyes. Peek down at your feet. If the right foot is pointing out, maybe make a correction. If the arches are collapsed, maybe make a correction by engaging the calf muscles. And then, this is the thing. You're in the pose, you're using energy to maintain it. Now ask yourself one question. How can you maintain maintain this pose, but use less energy to do so. This is how. You let gravity do the work. You let gravity do the work, but you use enough energy to keep yourself from collapsing out of the integrity of the pose. Do you see? It's a subtle thing, but once you learn it, it doesn't have an end. It just becomes more and more subtle. It's like an onion, with all its various, multiple, infinite-like layers. And then bend the knees and slowly come on up. All right, that's really nice. Put that back. We're going to work into Virabhadrasana to the arrow pose. So coming out of your band, and then this is what we're going to do. Make sure all the ripples down your mat. First things first. Now we take the ankles and next strip off, so we're in stretching mode. Then what we do is we take our toe band, TOW, and we lengthen it all the way out to the green line, 3/4 of the way. All right. So hold the band in your hand, in your left hand, sorry, your left hand. So it's in your left hand, and you're looking in the middle of the room. So clearly it's on the left side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to turn in to the left, and watch this. Very carefully, without falling, just insert your right foot. Don't fall. Okay, good. Now watch me. Is it? Don't fall. Good. Now watch this. Now, I start to walk my right foot forward, but hold on, don't do it yet. I walk it forward, and I pull this up out of the way, and then I take my left foot behind and back. Now you want to watch that the mat doesn't slip in back, because the foot in front is off. So it's easy for the mat to slip. I could very easily have you pull the mat. It's just an extra thing that you're going to mind, and then slowly your arms come out, you see? With both legs. And then maybe just look at me for 1 minute here. When I'm ready to come out, I grab the band from behind, I lean forward, and I pull myself out. But you're going to stay with it. So you want to make sure your ankle, the right ankle, is out in front of the knee, at least 1 inch. So walk it out. Yep. And then, over time, so you guys on that side, you can see the angle. This is not much of an angle, it's 15 degrees. As she opens up over the years, she's opened up quite a bit, then she starts to get this so it's actually parallel to the surface of the floor. But that's not the only goal, is to do that with the integrity of everything else in place. Again, pretend you were holding the handles that we were using with the bungee cords. Grab the handle, pretend you had one from each end. And your palms are down. You grab the handle, they're on your green-coated bungee cord. I want you to work from the core and pull the handles in 3 inches towards the body. Pull it, 3 inches. Pretend you're holding the bungee cord. So watch me, look at me. Pull it. Turn the palms up, and then extend, and let go of the handles. Yes. That's it. And then a very friendly, heavy pigeon flies up on the forearms. And it just reminds the arms.
It really. Couldn't it be something beautiful?
A
Smart guy.
A hawk. A hawk. Okay, spinal column straight. Remember at the ankle, Jim? It's got to be in front of the knee. So either walk the back foot behind you. See how Rich has got that? It's got really nice alignment there. Beautiful. Nice, guys. Now, take it into your reverse warrior. So all you're going to do now is open up and stretch the skin of the right armpit, the underarm. But you're assertively pulling the posterior portion of the deltoid down toward that left hip, behind you no less. And then you're getting extension out through the neck, and you get into the sternocleidomastoid by gently turning the head, rotating it in space one way or the other. Whatever feels good. You've got a lot of strength in the shoulders and neck. You can look up towards the thumb. That's your down. If you have neck issues, you can look down toward the left shoulder. So there's always an option. Don't think there's just one way I can't do it. No, there's 1,000 endless ways. Find what's conducive and right for you, and then get out of your way. Let the energy flow through you. All right, beautiful. And release. I gotta say, that was really nice, all of you. Really nice. Shall we do the other side? All right. So it's got to be done, this way, okay? Because otherwise it's really hard to get into. And this way, if we do it together, there's no confusion. So hold the band now into the right hand, okay? And start to walk forward, and then you're going to turn in, and then what you're going to do, look at this. I can lower this, so it's really easy to get the left foot in. That's okay. And then slowly what you'll do is you'll pull it out, right? Pull it out from the front and then start to slither the body slightly forward, okay? Yes, do you feel that deep into that garden? Yes. Take it above the knee, right, yes. Now look at me, take that back one behind you, carefully, yes. Nice, now get your straight, yes, but don't let the knee come in, push it towards, yes, that's it. Now just don't let this move. Work this femur back, yep. So watch the map, and then take it. That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good. Nice reminder, Randy, yep. Exactly. Now as you're in this pose, imagine a beautiful, regal, royal-like eagle coming and landing on you.
That's better. I'd rather have an eagle poop on me than a...
I didn't say poop on you.
I know, but come on, it's a bird.
Yeah, I guess. Good, that's it. Exhale, Uddiyana Bandha. Pull that navel back. Inhale, lengthen the spine like an elevator, going up, lengthening. And as you exhale, energetically, it's like the elevator drops back down. That is the apana. So prana, upward movement energy, apana, downward. Try your Kumbhaka. Inhale, pause for 3 or 4 seconds. Exhale. Inhale again, exhale and pause. So learn what feels more interesting in a Kumbhaka, retention of the breath, after the inhalation or after the exhalation, and then go ahead and take it to your reverse warrior. So take that hand back, down. Now I like to keep a slight bend into that hand and back, the arm. So put a slight bend into that elbow. You're literally pushing that right hand into the upper mid section of the back femur bone. Beautiful. Watch that knee. Watch it doesn't go out to the side. Work the knee to the left. And release. All right. What's that? Yeah. While she's talking, everybody come on off first. Good. Oh, the fact that you have to concentrate on, you won't be able to do the pose,
Okay.
especially in the band.
I
All right, come on down. Denise, yep, no, of course. Two places. So, you're on all fours. Just watch me for a moment. If your knees are sensitive, remember you can fold your mat. You can also come up on fists if it's too much for your wrists, you see? And watch this. This is doggy to fire hydrant pose. So, what you do is, very gently, lift that right leg up, drop it down, 4 to 5 times. Go slowly, go slowly, go slowly. Yes, of course that right hip is going to lift up. This is how your body's built. But as it lifts up, watch that you're not cramming into your sacroiliac. That's what's really important. Breathe, yes, yes, exactly. It's going to be really nice. Okay, let's do the other side. Let's do the other side. Easy. Nice. Yep. Good. Right. And slowly release. All right. Speaking of pigeons and landings, let's do the next one. Come on up. Take your band, retract it all the way, and then watch me. Take the whole MBB assembly, the whole thing, and put it up over the peg to your right. First retract it. Take all the stuff down out of it. Now we get into the crown of the poses. I don't mind saying. All right, you have 4 blocks. Take the 2 uppermost ones and set them in the uppermost position. Right, like a little bit more than the middle of your mat. Then, once there, don't worry about it, you'll see. Just then take your other 2 and place them on a high setting as well. So they're about, lined up with the wall, an inch or 2 away, doesn't matter. All right. Now, watch the board doesn't fall on you because you know it's got weight. So you're going to open up your barrel line, you're going to hold onto the board so it doesn't slip. Watch me. You'll lower it, and then you'll place your 2 blocks so they're lined up. Both the front and the outside edge of the block is lined up with the corner. Step down. Really nice. Blocks are not angled. Instability leads to instability. Right. Now, take your mat and carefully place it up over. All right, really nice. So watch what I do. I'm going to show you 2 things. You don't have to remember any of it. I sit down, my sit bones are off the board. I know there's nothing behind me, so I can just come right back. And then what I do is I take my right leg up. Now, once I take it up, I take my hands and I put a slight bend in it and I just pull. And then once I pull it, I extend my left leg up into the air and I stretch the toes. And then I lift my foot up and I just pull this like this. And then what I do is I release. Then I immediately come up, I turn around, go into downward facing dog. That same right leg that I just brought up into the air, I now take it so my sit bone, the right side of my butt, is up off of the board. And then what I do is I flex my right foot and I slowly drop down. Right? Let's try. Sit the board. Sit bones off the edge of the board, but obviously not so much that you would fall. Slide back, lean on your back. Take your right leg up into the air. We all have different levels of flexibility. So place your hands either to the lower portion of your calf muscle, mid or upper. And then when you're ready, gently keep a bend in that right leg, but lift the head up, pull the shoulders toward it, and then lift that left leg up, so point the toes. And lift the left leg up 30 degrees, a little bit more than 30 degrees. 30 degrees is the hardest. That's what takes the most energy. And then anything from 30 and beyond is easier to maintain. Of course, it just depends on how long you hold it. The longer you hold it, the heavier the head leg becomes. But lift it up, breathe, stay with the core. And about 20 seconds, which is right about now, release the pose. Release it. Come right up, go into downward facing dog. Take the right leg up behind you, up in the air. And then slowly when you're ready, inhale, exhale, take the right leg onto the board. And then go into the pose. Exactly. Really nice. Yes, Rich. That's really nice. Beautiful way for you to do this pose. See how he's got that? Just very gentle. Doesn't have to be a lot. Yep. And then if you could walk a little more forward. Beautiful. That's it. Breathe. Stay with it. That's it. So, relax on that. Watch it doesn't fall. Can you see it there? Can you feel it? Yeah. Relax up here. Just watch it fall. Yeah. Now, any way to relax this foot and come to the top of it without that box slipping out? Okay, that's fine. That's good. Really nice. So the right sit bone is working back and down. And just like an extension ladder, if you ever seen, how they work, 2 pieces together, and you lift the outermost piece towards you. Lift up. You're getting lengthening to the sides of the torso the same way. Breathe into it. Breathe into the piriformis. Breathe into the obturator externus. Breathe into all of those 5 lateral hip rotators. But observe how the ilia responds. So the 2 hips are responding to this. How does that feel? Breathe in. Stay with it. Most poses, they say, 40 seconds for most poses. Anything more than that is just superfluous. So, and of course, it just depends on what the end goals are. But generally speaking, for the general populace, I would say that's true. But when it comes to this kind of work, a little bit longer, for sure. And then slowly, when you're ready, think about this. You're going to come back out, and you're going to lift that right leg up back into the air behind you. So you're going to come into three-legged, elevated, nope, you're going to come into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Your hands are right at the edge of the board to support you. Now, take your feet together, big toes touch, take your right leg up in the air. Right leg up in the air. Take it up as high as you can, and then spin the right hip up toward the ceiling. And then let that right heel come towards the left glute. And then you'll get in. If you can get into the matrix of the fulcrum of the pose, you'll get into the psoas and hip flexor. And it feels so divine. That's it. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. So the dog to fire hydrant pose is a really nice prep for this one. And then slowly release. Very gently. Good. Beautiful. Come sit down. We have the other side to do yet, but before we do the other side, come up on your toes. Grab the front of your knees. Lean back without flying back, so you're on your tailbone. You're in between the two sit bones and the sacrum. And then what you want to do is lift the legs up and take your arms out like this, and then easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do about 15 of them, and then we're going to do the other side. Yes, lower this, lower, Andy. When you come back, lower. Yeah, and pull up, and then lower. Really lower, like that, Rich. Beautiful. You guys got that. Really nice. Strong form there. Same thing. Beautiful. 3 more. Only to turn, only to then take the sit bones off. Right? Okay? And then when you're ready. Okay? Left leg is extended. Lift the head and shoulders up. Head and shoulders. Lift them up. Then when you're ready, go ahead and keep a bend in the right knee. Let the right knee rise first. And then once it's up 30 degrees, extend the right leg and point the toes. Lower than 30 would just be more challenging, which is fine. You just need to make sure it's appropriate for you. That's all that really matters. Good. And then when you're ready, right? Slowly release. And come on up onto the post, turn around, downward facing dog, left leg comes up, boom, into the post. Yes. Really nice. Great. Yeah, a really big difference between the two sides. Much more over on this side. I mean, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm just verifying. And that's true about all of us. Certain parts of the body, because of injury, because of genetic predispositions, even flexibility itself has a very strong genetic factor. So nice. So nice. Very nice. Observe the thoughts you attract. Do you attract them or do they just come? Play around. Beautiful. Retract, come up on toes of the right foot. Retract your hands back. Get yourself into downward facing dog. And then go ahead and take that left leg up. Make sure you have a really nice V. And then roll that left hip up toward the ceiling. That's it, Debbie, that looks really nice. Really, really nice. Beautiful work into the foot. You know, it's just, you can see all your work over the years, Debbie, as a ballet dancer and all the things that you did. It just, it shows. And somebody who's an acrobat, you can see it. And somebody who is a marathon runner, you can see. And somebody who plays the bass, you can see. And somebody who sits in a car a lot, you can see. So, neti, neither this nor that, just right awareness for the right reason, to the right cause. And release. All right, beautiful. And then come stand up. Beautiful. And then before we put the board away, there's one last thing to do, and this is the thing. It's, if you have, we'll use this as an example. So I have this, and I go into a forward bend, it doesn't hold, just can't get into it. But if I place this here, and then I come down, everybody can do this. Everybody can squeeze this, especially from sitting down. Then I take my thumbs and I put them onto the board, or my palms. I push myself slightly forward so I have conducive angles for the kinetic action that's about to come. And that is, my head hangs because it makes it easier to lift up. And then what I do, without my chest coming up off, I then hold the board, take my hands behind me, or grab from here, and I go to forward bend. Now, I'm pretty open. You may be like this, and that's as far as you can go. Perfect. Why? Less is more. Let's do it. Anybody want to try it with this? You don't need this. Just pretend it's there. Just pretend. In other words, don't lose contact from the chest or the rib cage to the top of the thighs. All right? So you're first coming down, and your chest, your rib cage comes to the top of the thighs, and your hands come behind you, and you lift up, and you do not worry about straightening out the legs. You just keep that chest, yes, just like that. Like that. Beautiful, Rich. That's exactly it. This is such an effective way, not just to work the hamstrings. This really, in a way, has nothing to do with the hamstrings. It actually has to do with all the muscles outside of the hamstrings. Because if you want a hamstring stretch, you're better off to sit down on the floor and do a forward bend, because you're not using the legs to hold you up. And you'll get a better hamstring stretch. Unless, of course, you're trying to do some very isolated, isotonic work. That's different. Let the head hang more. Let it hang, let it hang, let it hang. Let it hang. Yes. Now, listen to me for a moment. So you're going to inhale, and all together. There's something about that sound that relaxes the endocrine, the exocrine, and all the hormones and chemicals and synergistic hormones. Everything relaxes and balances itself out. All right, come sit down. All right. That was really exquisite. All right, we're going to do a little bit more upper body work before we actually do some inversions. So, back up we go. And then put all your blocks back into their, for lack of another way of saying it, respective places. So clean up house. House clean up. Why don't we? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. She's great. So
It's all about association.
yeah, right.
Is that proposal? It is, yeah. Okay, good. There was one person who, one time, I said, make sure you put that lock on. I said, is that on? She said, yeah. And she turned around, boom. Didn't hurt her, but I mean, so you always want to be mindful. And you were. All right, so this is what's going to happen. We're not thinking too much about it. Just go ahead and take your whole MBB assembly down and up off the peg to your right. Then what I'd like you to do is find your loop, your MBB loop, and hold it up. Hold it up. Just the loop. And then you see the rainbow stack strip? I have 2 red caps. You guys all have yellow. Follow it up to the 2 yellow caps or ears. Take it off. Take that part off the carabiner. Right? Take that part off the carabiner. Beautiful. And then I'd like you to place it up overhead. Good. Now, I'd like you to stand behind it. And I'd like you to put it right onto the left. So stand behind it. Don't trip over the box. This bottom of this should come right to the center of your shin bones. So that means I just have to lengthen this a little bit. Like this. If the belt isn't twisted, it's pretty easy to lower it. That's pretty good for me, right there. Huh? I think you're good, Susan. That's good. That looks good. Lower yours a little bit more. Jim, you have another 2 inches. Andy, you're going to go another 4 inches. Rich, you're good. Excuse me, we're all good. All right, so now, listen carefully. You see your 2 blocks? Take your 2 blocks and turn them like this. And then push them in together like that. So turn them 90 degrees. So it's like a sandwich, not parallel, but yeah, exactly. Because your feet are going to go up against those. It's a little different. Because when they're the other way, they can move. Now, I'd like you to do one thing. Walk in the center of your mat and pull straight. So you're lined up with it. Just pull it. Pull it straight. Don't pull on an angle. Pull straight. Beautiful. All right. Then turn around, come back towards the center, place the stuff over the head. All right, good. And then what will happen is this. This is for you.
Thank you. We're doing push-ups.
We're doing push-ups. So what happens is I come and I crawl back. Now, watch my hips. I can get them down to the ground. If you can't get them down to the ground, you should probably then take your band a little bit more. And then what I do is I lift my hips up and I very slowly. I can come up as quickly as I want, but go down slowly and focus on the eccentric phase. Now, the band helps you do these, but you can also keep your knees on the floor, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do we have to make those noises?
I can't do it because of my shoulder. No. That's just added sound. I know.
Just do a little.
Let's try.
Yeah. Just stay with it.
If I didn't have my shoulder surgery, I'd be able to do the class with the knees off. All right, that's it. So elbows brush the sides of the torso. So when your arms are bent, exactly. That's it, Rich. Good. And don't let the shoulders and chest come up any sooner than other parts of the body. It's like your board. You know how you lowered your board and you raise it? It's on the hardware that allows it to come down. This is your body. It's like your body's the board. Yes. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Really nice. Beautiful. And then over time, you work into a double top.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So how do you, adjust, I also have them.
You want to work a little harder? Just go more quickly. Go more quickly. Or take some of the pressure off the band. So, in other words, your band, you can lengthen it a little bit more like this. And now try. And you'll see you have to work a little harder. Yep. Beautiful. That's it. Nice, Susan.
That's impressive, Susan.
Wow. Great, Andy. Exactly.
But I fall.
Wow.
I fall.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm falling.
Yeah. No, but the band slows it down. You see? The band slows it down. Yeah, nice. And you have to use your muscles to stop as you race. So I'll put the brakes on. So neurologically, it's a great thing.
I understand that. Because I know I'm not using my legs and so concentrate on my.
Exactly. Because we're not wired to hurt ourselves. That's why an accident's an accident.
You can't be in 2 places.
Okay? All right. Come on up. Come on up, everybody.
You can go that fast.
There's one last pose. So come on up. This one you'll like, I promise. So this is what you want to do. Come up and take your NBB loop off and place it on your shoulder. And once you place it on your shoulder, grab the ring on the rainbow strip and reconnect it to the carabiner up overhead. Okay? Then take it off and place it on the toe band where you took it off. Take that off, just connect it. Yep. And then put it back on the toe band, Jim. So, no, you're gonna put it back where you got it from. So look here, this is gonna go back on here. All right, the other one. And then hold this, put your thumb through the ring. Thumb through the ring. So it hangs very nicely. Then, place it back up and over. Great. Would you okay? Now, so look at the way this hangs. And this metal piece hardware, all I do is I just let it down, each side, all the way. So Jim, for you, you're going to keep about 2 inches because you're a little bit taller than the rest of us, so you don't want your head touching the floor. So you'll be like that. Yeah, I think yeah, we're going to, but watch me first, please. Watch me first. I know you all know this, but I just want to remind you. The same thing, you're going to take it up and over like that. So you have a nice clean slate. The first thing you always do is, again, pull on this and make sure everything's hooked up properly, and then watch this. Okay, you're definitely good. So place this here, and then it's above the sit bones. So you're definitely good. And then, you see, so a couple times you're doing this because what's happening is through the movement, you're getting the sacroiliac and the hips in a nice position. And then, look, very gently, the feet and the heels come together. And then very gently let go, and that's it. And that's it. You can go into a double Y once you've held it for a while, but look, your head should not touch the floor. Right? When you come out, you use your core, you lift up, and don't try to come out too quickly because you'll get dizzy. Yes, beautiful, Andy. Yeah, not too, that's good. Now put one foot up. One foot up. It's actually still too high. It's too high. Yeah, we want it more like that. Now, kind of hold it there. One leg up. One leg up. Now the other. All right, good. Now, knees out to the side. Then, knees way out to the side. Way out, way out, way out. Now, take one foot here, and then the other. And then the other. Take them down so they're level. So the feet, the heels, look, the heels. Keep them like your hands, like this. Look at me. Heels. Work this heel down. Work this foot out. But level with the other. There you go. Now take the feet down. Let go. Let go. Look at me. Relax. Relax.
Digging into my back.
Relax. Well, you're not used to the sensation. So, if anything, this is a little bit closer up towards the ceiling, but you can come on out. You know, if it doesn't feel good, come out. So when I look at you, look at me, Jim, your head is all the way over to the left. Relax so it hangs. That's why you're inverting. You're trying to let gravity pull your body symmetrically from the fixed point. That's better. That's better. That's nice. Yes, guys, beautiful. And stabilize yourself and just kind of, get a sense of yourself into the pose. Beautiful. 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 See, you're relaxing into it. Nice. Really nice. Rich, any way to put your hands in the namaste? Yes. Just so that the head can totally relax. Really nice, guys. Super duper nice. Very on the photo of you upside down while you're in here. Look at the photo. Great, guys. Really, really nice. If anybody wants a picture after class, you can send it to yourself. On your phone. Beautiful. Andy, that is like strategic positioning of the band. It's exactly where it should be.
It's low, but.
Huh?
It feels low, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But I feel secure.
And then any variations that you want to do at this point, go ahead and do them. Just watch those don't pull out of the wall, Debbie. They're strong, but not that strong.
Okay, well, I wasn't putting myself up on it.
Yeah, no more because I don't want you to hurt yourself. Yeah. You can always put another hook in. Yes. All right, Jim, you ready to come out? Okay, so turn towards the center of the room. Lift your hands up off the floor, Jim. Just lift them up. No, lift them up. Lift both of them up. Trust me. Lift both hands up off the floor. Oh, no, just lift them both up. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Relax. Good. Now grab your hand up on top. Grab it. Higher up. Higher. Use your core. Gently pull yourself up. And then release your legs and pull yourself up. Remember, so much of this is about retraining the nervous system. Yeah, no, I know, it's been a while. And it's nice to have you back. Actually, for as long as it's been, it's like amazing how it all came. But, yeah, it's been a while, yes. Yeah. All right, and you see, Mary, now, does she not look angelical in that pose? All right, so use the band to get some cervical extensioning, and I will turn off the overhead lights as soon as everybody's into the pose. So I'll help you here. So first thing we'll do, because I'm going to have to put you into these up the weight so it's really hard to relax. And those come down here. Yes. And back off, straight stick, up over, this. See how it's trying to stand in there? Rich, take your glasses off. And then, and then so move these over and then okay, so then we'll move this a little bit. And good lay down. The keys in. Alright? Good. Gently come down. Alright, put your head in there. Don't trust me, you gotta grab it and place it where you know it's not gonna fall. Like you wouldn't want it to fall and have your head fall out a little point. Now, look at me. You can actually back your body up to get more tension. You back up gently. No, that way. Yeah, away from the wall. Away from the wall. Away from the wall. That's it. Yes, you got this. Beautiful. Can I help anybody with anything? No, everybody's good? Okay, yes. Okay, of course. Yes. Is that beautiful? That's okay. No. That's all right. Yeah, that's good, because then you can walk away. You're fine, because then you can just move your body back. Lay down. Yeah. So this part of your neck right here, Rich, this part, imagine that there was like a 1 pound weight there, and it was hanging. That this, drops down. You see? That's it. That's it exactly. That looks nice, Andy. You got that right at the occiput there. All right, then I'm going to, you close your eyes, and this is where all of your beautiful work today just comes into play. Comes into play, you're getting cervical extensioning. Really nice. About 2 to 3 minutes of observation. One of the things you're learning to do is to not just observe yourself, but to observe yourself, observing yourself. You hear me say that a lot. There's a very strong discernment between observing yourself and observing yourself, observing yourself. When you learn to observe yourself, observing yourself, it's very easy to then understand how all the sensations from within the body, how they present themselves to you, and what you do with them, you learn a lot when you observe yourself observing these things. And that's all. So open up your heart, open up the 12 rivers from within the body, meaning the electrons and the fluids and the DC electric. Everything flows naturally, like rivers, like water from a mountaintop working its way back to the oceans, the seas. Thoughts are like the flickering of a star. It's not so much that the star flickers as much as it is from an astrological point of view that spatial debris and stardust and all these things work in front of it, which make it flicker. And the mind is like that. When we have awareness and pureness of thought, there's very few obstructions that block the light. It's a very beautiful thing. There's a charge, has a charging effect. So feel the earth beneath you, feel the celestial skies above, feel the energy from all cardinal directions flow through you. And your affirmation is what it is, but it also means this, whatever it is. I am all light. I am beautiful. And I am all loving. Full of wisdom. Potential for greater knowledge. For greater compassion. Capacity thereof. $3.5 billion people in the world. With what we do with yoga, every single human being is a precious human being because we are all equal. One may have a great deal more power than another person, but as far as the essence of a soul and a human being, we are equals. This is compassion. And sometimes the challenges are the opportunities for us to learn about ourselves and how we view the world from within and outside. So your breath is your melody into a deeper slip of ecstasy, of ecstasy. And now you're on your own for the last minute. And then very slowly, you bring yourself back into your body, into the stability of the mind, and into the calming sensations of your emotions. And with this beautiful triad of your being, come on back into yourself. With the fingers and toes, the feet and the hands and the arms and the legs, work into the torso and the head and neck. If you're ready, you can lift your head up out of the band and then pull the legs into the chest, bringing the nose into the space in between the knees. Nice. And then Roll to your right side and support your head with your right arm. Just rest. The joy and the gift of life are about. And every level. And then into a seated position. Our hands will come together into Anjali Mudra, and we all chant Om one time to seal the beautiful energy and work that we created. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, and we'll chant in our own melodic voice, Om. So, inhale, and exhale it all out completely. And let's begin. Inhaling. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yes. Safe, fruitful holiday. And Jim, nice to have you back. Make sure you drink ample amounts of water, flush out the toxins, hydrate the body. Not different than the MBB lights, huh? Huh? It's more stable. It is. Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about it. Plus the boards, there's 1,000 things that we do with the boards. That's just a couple things, but we do all that work. What's it? It's just a little bit, it's a little different, but you'll be fine for it. You should come check one out. I think you should come check one out. Because there's always variations, and there's always, like there's people that come in that are more tight than you or than no, I'm just saying, there are. So, because it's not about that, it's really a lot has to do with my instruction, and I know how to work, and so. Thank you too, Susan. Have yourself a beautiful Thanksgiving food. Well, if anybody wants a picture of themselves upside down, I